I'm not gonna bullshit you. I know you. You've seen the news.
The current administration is separating families from their children at our border with Mexico. Nearly 2,000 children separated from their families.
If you come across the border, we're going to take your children away.
Okay, come across the border and we take your children away. That sounds harsh, but that's also the policy of witches in candy houses, the Upside Down, and Fuddruckers. Side note, do not take your children to Fuddruckers. Now, of course, with this story, the anti-Trump media is turning the outrage up to 11, claiming these poor kids are in cages. But if there's anything disturbing about this situation, it's the word choice.
Border Patrol people have reached out to us. They are very uncomfortable, in their words, with his characterization of the words cages. They said it's not inaccurate, but they're very uncomfortable with using the word cages.
Yes, very uncomfortable. The word cages is so uncomfortable. It's almost confining in a way. God, can you imagine being forced into using the word cages to accurately describe where you're putting children? I mean, the left is all up in arms over Trump's new zero-tolerance policy that is separating immigrant kids from their families. If you think about it for a second, literally only a second, it sounds really, really bad. Like movie villain bad. Like we're the guys who phone up and say, we have your daughter. I hope you don't have a special set of skills or else you'll find us. But guys, don't let them shame you. That's okay. Don't be afraid of these actions. You need to understand this is who we are. We're the side that supports separating kids from their parents. We're the deplorables. Now, if you voted for the Trump administration or are in the Trump administration, you might be feeling a little itch in that fist-sized spot between your lungs. And that's just growing pains, sorry, shrinking pains. You're working through the different stages of self-acceptance. For example, denial.
Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielsen defending the administration's immigrant policies in a series of tweets, writing this: "We do not have a policy of separating families at the border, period."
Oh, good luck following up with that. She said, period. National conversation over. And if someone says, but what about all those children over there? Just say, well, let's move on to the next stage. Blame.
I hate the children being taken away. The Democrats have to change their law. That's their law. They were forced. Quiet. That's the Democrats' law. The Democrats forced that law upon our nation.
Yes. Trump can't just undo something the Democrats did. It's not health care or taxes or gun laws or anything Obama touched. His hands are tied. Now, sure, Trump's own Department of Justice has acknowledged that Trump and Sessions created the policy, and he can halt it anytime he pleases. But if Trump really had that power, then who was he tweeting "change the laws" to in all caps at 8:50 a.m.? You heard him, Twitter. I don't know which one of you eggs is in charge of this, but fix it. Unbelievable. Wake up, eggs. And look, if you're still uncomfortable with what's happening at the border, try moving on to the next stage. Appeal to a higher power.
Attorney General Jeff Sessions turned to the Bible to say the government must follow the law.
I would cite you to the Apostle Paul and his clear and wise command in Romans 13 to obey the laws of the government because God has ordained the government for his purposes.
Oh. Jeff Sessions is always appealing to a higher power. He needs to appeal to higher powers, whether it's asking for help getting the peanut butter off the top shelf or getting him a booster seat so he can draft up some mandatory minimums for skateboarding. He needs it. Now, these are all extremely valid responses to a traumatic news cycle. But remember, the goal is acceptance. Luckily, one man is already there.
Stephen Miller has been the architect of basically anything related to immigration. Here's what Stephen Miller told the New York Times, that the separation of children from their families was a simple decision by the administration to have a zero-tolerance policy for illegal entry. Period.
Period. The Trump administration knows how important it is to say period at the end of a sentence. Because like a child, that dot is so small it might completely lose track of itself otherwise. That's right. The guy who was accepted and helped dictate America's southern border policy is the same person who reportedly told a classmate they couldn't be friends anymore because the classmate was Latino. Oh, yeah. Helen's face may have launched 1,000 ships, but if those ships had seen this face, they would have turned the around. So, Trump administration members, stop being so defensive. Don't pretend this isn't your vision. Accept it, because this is who we are. The fight continues. Good. You hid down here where the real truth lies. If you want to help me defeat the globalists and stay on the inside, click and subscribe and help me defeat them. Because following me on my YouTube channel makes you a leader. It tracks. Trust me.